Australia, the Honourable Robert Hawke, to present the Premiership Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to congratulate the Hawthorn Club. They're a great club, a no-nonsense club, and they've deserved their win today. They've showed with a grit and determination in winning today that they deserve to be ranked as one of the great clubs of the modern era. Congratulations to the club, to the captain, Michael Tuck, to the coach, Alan Jeans. You can't have a grand final without a losing side. And also congratulations to the Carlton Club for having got this far this season and for having done their best today. Congratulations to Hawthorn and to all their players.
And now would you honour the players by presenting their grand final medallions. Firstly, number 2, Chris Mew. Number 4, Peter Russo. Number 7, Gary Ayres. Number 9, Robert Diapierdomenico. Number 11, Gary Bacanara. Number 25, Peter. Number 26, Rodden John Kennedy. And number 17, captain of the Premiership team. Joining his captain on the dais to accept his medallion and then the Premiership Cup, the coach of the Premiership Club, Hawthorn, Alan Jeans.
Captain Michael Tuck and victorious coach Alan Jeans holding aloft the Premiership Cup, and they'll do a lap of honour with it now. And as they're about to do that, let's go downstairs to our man on the scene, Peter Donegan.
Yes, Pete, well, the players are just leaving the race and just about to go on that lap of honour, so we'll see if we can grab especially the Brownlow medalist, Bertie Diapierdomenico. Very happy Russell Green walking past. Russ, how does it feel?
It's just unbelievable. 6 weeks ago I was in the seconds and I didn't think I'd get in there. Unfortunately, blokes like Rod Lester-Smith got injured, and I was fortunate enough to come in, and I mean, it's for those blokes we play for today.
Enjoy the lap of honour, mate. And there they go now. Bertie Diapierdomenico just in front of us. He could hardly walk before, and just as he starts the lap of honour, Bertie, the greatest week of your life.
Yeah, it is the greatest week of my life. I started training for this last year, the day after the losing grand final, and I couldn't expect anything better.
You don't look too good, but I bet you feel all right.
I feel all right.
You go and enjoy it too, mate. And of course the captain, Michael Tuck. Michael, you've been waiting for this moment for how long?
7 years.
Well, it must be just a sensational feeling to stand in front of this crowd, especially with these guys who have done just such a marvellous job all year.
They're great teams effort today and everything like that, so that's part of it, really. The team makes everything so much better. The individual won't win it.
Well, Tucky, take the cup around and enjoy the moment. Michael Tuck, Rodney Eade just walking along. What a magnificent job he did. Rocket, have you got the strength to get through that banner, mate?
No, mate, I think I run around it. I think I'll take the easy way for a change.
All right, well, join your mates. Rodney Eade, a fantastic feeling out here on the ground. And these 20 players from the Hawthorn Football Club deserve this moment. 100,000 people salute 20 great champions, the 1986 premiers, the Hawthorn Football Club. Let's go back to Peter Landing.
Well, thanks very much indeed, Pete, with the Hawthorn players taking the cup and dipper over to the Hawthorn fans who were gathered en masse behind the goals in the bottom and also top deck of the Western Stand. And the Hawthorn players now beginning their lap of honour here at the MCG. Birdie doesn't seem to be limping anymore, though.
Well on the ground. Dermot Brereton had the better of John Dorotich. I thought probably Justin Madden, English, Robertson did quite well when he came on. And, you know, Alvin did a good job, although early in the piece, D.P. Domenico was the catalyst in a great start for Hawthorn. Peter Russo, and I think one of the old stages of the Hawthorn side, Rodney Eade's game was superb. Not to mention, of course, the tactical move, and it was a great move by Alan Jeans of Ayres onto the wing.
OK, network stations are just about to leave us. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast today from the Melbourne Cricket Ground of the 1986 VFL Grand Final, repeating the final score by 7 goals. On behalf of all the commentary team here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, Peter Vandy, a very good afternoon to you all. For HSV viewers, you will be staying with us, of course, until 6 o'clock. Don't go away because we've got plenty more football coming up in just a few moments. The Hawthorn players making their way up the race now.
Peter Curran, a delighted Peter Curran at the moment, holding them.
What a great feeling it must be for some of those younger players playing in that, and Johnny Platten playing in his first grand final side since he started football, Bob, and could have easily been playing with Carlton this year.
Yes, how would he feel at the moment?
I reckon he'd feel he's picked the winning team.
Well, you look at Russell Green going up the race. Now, 6 weeks ago, Russell Green, I think he did make the comment.
He mentioned that, yes, Bob.
You know, he looked like he's gone for the world. D.P. Domenico with a nice cut over the eye.
Won't worry him.
He's sore at both ends of the ground. Chief Commissioner, former Hawthorn committee man, Ross Oakley, was just going up the race. And Lou, I think it goes to prove that just money is not enough.
Well, that's right, and of course, I think you'll agree, both of you, that their imports, the players they paid lots of money for, didn't buy today, and I'm quite sure the tax...
861 fans were at the MCG this afternoon. Still some in the ground, but slowly making their way to the trams, trains, buses, and also car park. Hawthorn 110, defeating Carlton 68. And Hawthorn only kicking 1 goal in the final quarter, Carlton kicking 3, but they left their run a little bit too late. The goal kickers for Hawthorn, Dunstall finished up with 6 goals, Brereton 3, Buckenara 4, singles to Russo, Ayres, Curran and Eade. For Carlton, 3 goals to Paul Meldrum, 2 goals to Steve Kernahan, and singles to Evans, Rhys Jones, Glascott and McKenzie.
The 1986 Victorian Football League Premiership season is proudly sponsored by Carlton, brewers of Foster's Lager.
110 to 68, the final score in favour of the Hawks, winning their 6th VFL flag. As we go down to the Hawthorn dressing room now, our reporter there on the scene is Peter Donnigan.
Thank you, Pete. Well, understandably down here, there's a tremendous air about the Hawthorn rooms, and the players are in the rooms with Alan Jeans at the moment, but some of the personalities that are here, and I noticed that we have the leader of the opposition here in Victoria, Mr. Jeff Kennett, and see, you're wearing a very happy face.
Yes, I am. It's a great team effort. Night football, premiership, Brownlow. What else could you ask for?
The best year in the club's history ever?
Yes, I think so. And a real credit to not only the players, but the administrators.
But, we know his face, and it's a pretty happy one at the moment. Now, listen, we'll see if he's still got his singing voice. The boys are just about to come out as the club song.
We are at Hawthorn. We are the mighty fighting Hawks.
You haven't lost a bit of it.
I'm going to play.
You look reasonably pleased. Come back here. Come back. Why are you so pleased?
Well, I've been to 2 losing ones in the last 2 years. It's nice to get back into the winner's circle. It was great today.
What about when Carlton started coming back in the second quarter? Were you worried at all?
No, I thought the determination was there today with Hawthorn. It was a completely different kettle of fish to 2 weeks ago. And I think probably that loss at that time brought him back down to earth again, and you realise where it's really at. And it's the finals and the grand final. You don't have second chances, and that's what happened today.
Where are the celebrations tonight, by the way?
I've got to work.
Do you?
Then I'll go and kick down at the club.
You'll still be there for 766?
No, I'm midweek lotto. How long have you been with Seven, son?
Oh.
Obviously in the sports department.
Shirley Strawn, pretty happy. And, of course, so are everyone else in the Hawthorn rooms. As I said, the players at the moment are locked up with Coach Alan Jones. They should be out any moment. I'm sure, thanks, Joey, I'm sure that's not going to be the last bottle of champagne that we see in here tonight. And I don't think it'll be the last time we see the Hawthorn theme song. In the meantime, I think we'll go back to Peter Landy and we'll join some of the personalities in just a moment. And Dunstall over here if we can. Another fine performance. Jace, well done. No doubt you're enjoying that drink after a long, hard season. A great result tonight.
Oh, it's great. 9 months of work. It's all worth it.
I think there might be a bit of partying going on up in Queensland at the moment in your home state.
I think they'll be partying everywhere tonight, just quietly.
Now, today, the start was great. There was a bit of a lull in the second quarter when Carlton looked as though they might get back into it.
I think they threw their best at us in the second quarter. We held them pretty sway and then just took off in the third quarter.
And no problems from there on in.
Brilliant. Magnificent.
The back line, you as a forward, of course, would appreciate all the efforts put in by guys like Mew, and in fact, the entire back line was superb.
They didn't give their blokes a chance. They absolutely blitzed them.
Just in one word, can you sum up the feeling?
Can't. It's impossible to. It's just unbelievable.
Well, you deserve to go and enjoy the celebrations. Congratulations, and let's hope that we'll see you back here in 12 months' time.
Thanks very much, Pete.
Jason Dunstall, the full forward who played such a magnificent game at the MCG today. Dermot Brereton's over there. I don't know whether we're any chance of getting him. He's normally such a quiet, shy lad, but we will try and get him over if we possibly can. Dermot. We'll get him over if he ever stops. I'm normally such a shy reserve character. Can you put into words how you feel now?
Oh, pretty good. I feel like $1 million, you know, like the way you look.
Now, what about out on the ground today? Any worries after that great start? It really looked as though you were going to run away with it in the first 15 minutes.
Oh, I think Carlton got their feet on the ground after the first few minutes and made a bit of a struggle for us, and we had to work very hard to win it. We edged away a bit in the third quarter again. I think Carlton took it away from us a bit in the second quarter. They played very well, but the application of the fellas was excellent.
What was the difference between today's side and the one that met Carlton 2 weeks ago?
Just the application, I'd say. We were all prepared to work until, you know, there was nothing left in reserve. So basically, will to win, desire.
A victory in a grand final is always sweet, but is it made even sweeter by the fact that you've lost the last 2 years?
Oh, for sure. Like also losing the last 2 years, you know, I played reasonably well last year, so I was hoping that, you know, we could win this year's, obviously because to eclipse last year's, but I think I was a bit young also when I won the first one in '83, so I can really appreciate this one.
What about the private war you've had with Mr. Dorotich over the season?
I think that's been blown a bit out of proportion by the media. John Dorotich is a very good player. He, you know, we've had a couple of tussles, probably not as many tussles as I've had with some other players. Just because the two grand final teams, I think they were trying to make something out of it that probably wasn't.
Because it was very disappointing the way we lost last year and also '84. And to the guys' credit, they just worked enormously today. The tackling was just fantastic, I thought.
And someone said you were cheating because it looked like you bought your own football.
Well, I think perhaps I just had a day out today.
Now, when you came into the game, we've asked a couple of the boys, after the disappointment of a couple of weeks ago, just what did you do to bring yourself up mentally and say, OK, we can beat them?
Well, I think we were a bit flat in the second semi-final because we had the week's break, and I don't think there's any substitute for a hard finals game. I don't think we were well adjusted to a finals performance, and we just knew that we can beat them providing we pressure and put the tackling on.
Jubilant scene in the Hawthorn dressing rooms after the Hawks' victory in the 1986 flag. One man who had a few worries about whether he'd be there or not during the week is John Kennedy. John, just when were you confident that you would be in the lineup?
Well, I was down to the wire, Peter. I had to go for a fitness test this morning. I had one every day, and I went down this morning, and thanks to Peter Wilson, the medic, and Barry Gavin, they got me through. So, geez, I'm thankful to them. You know.
Did you feel helpless sitting on the bench for much of the game, watching the boys out there?
I must admit, I was champing at the bit to get on. You know, I just couldn't wait to get on. You know, because the team was playing well, and I really wanted to have a go and see if I could do my best. You know, but nevertheless, I got on just before three-quarter time, and was just thankful for that.
The way things were going when you got out there, you didn't have too many worries either.
No, that's right, and it's all very easy when things are going for you. But nevertheless, I was just happy to get a run.
I'm sure you must be able to feel probably better than anyone for Rod Lister-Smith and what he's gone through today.
Well, that's right. I mean, it was bad luck for Rod. He had the same thing that I did, but I think he had a medial ligament, which is a bit more involved, and you can't afford to take a risk with something like that, whereas mine was a cartilage, and luckily I did mine a little bit earlier and gave me a chance to play. But Rod certainly be very disappointed, but that's football. You can't do much about that.
Your father was here today watching you?
Yes, he was here somewhere, so he'd be very happy, I'd say.
Yes, I don't think there's too much doubt that his allegiance would have laid with the Hawks today.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Well, John, we'll let you go and celebrate on one condition. Don't drink too much champagne, because you've had that many needles you might leak.
It's a fair statement, Pete.
Good on you, mate. John Kennedy. And the celebrations still continue here at the Hawthorn Rooms, and we'll have more hopefully in just a moment. But as we said before, unfortunately in grand finals there has to be a loser, and that loser today is Carlton.
Boys work really hard for it, and they deserve it. It's great.
Is it better to be out there on the field and be part of a premiership side? Obviously it is, but just how does it feel for a player of recent years like yourself to have to sit on the bench and watch it?
Yeah, it's not too easy. There's no doubt it's pretty frustrating, because when it all boils down, the guys that are out on the ground at that particular time, they're the ones that do the job, and it's frustrating that when you're up there, match committee, coaching committee, whatever, you can't really do much on the day, and it is a bit frustrating, but it's great.
We've asked the boys what the difference was between today's Hawthorn and the Hawthorn of 2 weeks ago. What did you think?
Well, I just thought we had such an even performance. We just had a total commitment from all the guys, you know, and I think the way they approached the game today, they had jobs to do. They all done it just so well, and I think it was just a total commitment by everyone.
There's one man who mightn't show up terribly well on the stats, but in my opinion, I thought he did a fantastic job, Rodney Eade.
Yeah, so I thought he was pretty close to our best player, actually. I always find it hard to pick our best players, but he had a job to do today, Rocket. He not only did the job incredibly well, but he also performed so well himself, and that he just got so many possessions himself. But then again, impossible to individualise. Again, that's the difference between this week and a fortnight against Carlton. We just had everybody playing well. You just got to have that.
What are you going to be doing next year, Pete?
I don't know, Pete. I wish I knew, actually. I'm definitely going to...
86 coming to you. 86 coming pretty fast to a close, and at this stage of our telecast, I'd like to thank Technical to play the West Australian Premiers Subiaco, and you'll see that live on 7 next Saturday after the tennis. Australia to play Ireland in the first of the 3 Gaelic football tests. That's also from Western Australia on Saturday the 11th of October, and of course the Courage Cup between Carlton and North Melbourne from the Oval in London on Sunday the 12th of October at 10:30 p.m. Hope you can join us for that. As we say, a very good afternoon. We go out on some of the highlights of Grand Final Day 1986, Hawthorn winning their 6th VFL Premiership flag.
The 1986 VFL Grand Final was proudly brought to you by Nissan. You just can't lose at your Nissan dealer. and presented for your enjoyment by NEC, leaders in computers and communications. In association with Bob Jane T-Mart, specialists in tyres. Carlton, brewers of Foster's Lager. And Australian Airlines, business is flying our way.
Straight, I'm afraid you're going to have to come with us. I hope you have a good attorney.
Best man I can think of is me.
Classic mystery and suspense returns.
For the first time, I know what it's like to be the accused.
For the first thrilling time on television, the Tuesday movie at 8:30, Perry Mason returns. Tonight, come to a place where dreams come true. This is Xanadu, the most dazzling romantic musical fantasy in years. It's a love story about a boy and a girl from two different worlds. It's spectacular entertainment that will transport you beyond your wildest dreams. Starring Olivia Newton-John, Michael Beck, and Gene Kelly. At the special family time, 6:30 tonight, following the grand final, presented by Lifesavers. Xanadu on 7. Tonight, 7 Sport is proud to present a very special edition of 7's Big League, a complete replay of the 1986 grand final between Carlton and Hawthorn from 10:30 tonight on 7. Thursday night, a turbocharged edition of Beyond 2000 looks at our favourite toy.
From high-speed exotic cars to the latest off-road vehicles, we've compiled a selection of the most innovative and startling creations from the auto industry.
Combine power and speed with style in a turbocharged Bentley, the fuel-efficient face of the super truck of the future, and the magnificent lines of the Vector Twin Turbo.
So, fasten your seatbelts as we take it to the streets.
Beyond 2000, presented by AMP, 8:30 Thursday. Kyneton, Victoria, 1945. 2 baby girls born at the same time.
They've given you the wrong baby.
So began the most notorious, emotionally explosive custody battle in Australia's history.
She does have blue eyes. Yours are brown. I think we've got the wrong babies.
A bizarre chain of events that shocked the world as it shattered the lives of the 2 families involved.
There has been a mix-up, mate. Nola is ours.
Angela Punch McGregor is Gwen Morrison.
We'll get justice, Mr. Calverley.
Drew Forsyth is Bill Morrison.
You could not possibly be the father, Mr. Morrison.
Vicky Luke is Jess Jenkins.
I know I have my own baby.
Peter Curtin is Noel Jenkins.
It's going to be expensive.
Whose Baby, premiering Sunday and Monday at 8:30 on 7. Channel 7 congratulates Alan Jeans and the Hawthorn Hawks, winners of the 1986 VFL Premiership.
A jubilant Hawthorn wins its 6th flag, beating Carlton by 42 points.